Hello, students of the world. Whether you're dreaming of studying in the United States or just curious about the latest global education trends, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the U.S. student visa process and the major shakeup that sent shockwaves through the international student community in May 2025. The event, now known as the Great Visa Pause, left thousands of students in limbo, their dreams suddenly put on hold as U.S. embassies worldwide abruptly halted all F1, M1, and J1 visa interviews. For many, this pause came at the worst possible time, right in the middle of application season. The official explanation? A vague security review. But for students, this meant weeks of anxiety, uncertainty, and endless questions about their academic futures and travel plans. After what felt like an eternity, the process finally resumed. But there was a catch. A brand new requirement. Mandatory social media screening for every single applicant, no matter where you're from or what you plan to study. This isn't just a minor paperwork update, it's a fundamental shift in how the U.S. evaluates student visa candidates. Now your online presence is under the microscope, right alongside your academic records and financial documents. In 2025, your digital footprint, everything you post, like, or share, has become as important as your transcripts and recommendation letters. What you say online could impact your visa outcome. So, what does this mean for you as an aspiring international student? How will this affect your application? And what steps should you take to prepare? What exactly are visa officers looking for when they review your social media? Are there red flags you should avoid or best practices you should follow? And most importantly, how can you make sure your application stands out for the right reasons, while protecting your privacy and staying true to yourself online? In this video, we'll break down the timeline of the Great Visa Pause, explain the new social media rules in detail, and give you practical, step-by-step tips to help you navigate this new landscape with confidence. We'll also discuss which groups of students are most affected by these changes and share strategies for managing your online presence without losing your authentic voice. Think of this as your crash course in the 2025 student visa changes, a guide to help you adapt, prepare, and thrive in a rapidly changing world. The world of international education is more complex than ever, but remember, knowledge is power. The more you know, the better you can plan and respond to new challenges. By understanding these new policies and taking proactive steps, you can approach your application with clarity and confidence, turning obstacles into opportunities. Let's get started together and make sure you're fully prepared for what's next on your journey to studying in the U.S. Your future is still within reach. Let's help you grab it, no matter how the rules may change. Here's everything you need to know to succeed in this new era of student visas. Let's rewind to May 2025, a month that would become a turning point for thousands of international students with dreams of studying in the United States. All over the world, students were busy preparing for their visa interviews, packing their bags, gathering documents, and anxiously waiting for their chance to take the next big step in their academic journey. Then, suddenly, everything came to a grinding halt, leaving students and their families in shock and confusion. On May 15th, the U.S. Department of State made an unexpected announcement: a global pause on processing F, M, and J visas, the main categories for international students and exchange visitors. Overnight, embassies and consulates stopped scheduling interviews and processing applications, leaving hopeful students stranded in uncertainty. The official explanation was that the government needed to update and standardize security screening procedures. But beyond that, details were scarce, and rumors quickly spread about what was really happening behind closed doors. This abrupt halt sent shockwaves through universities and student communities. Tens of thousands of applicants were left in limbo, unsure if they would be able to start their programs on time. University staff scrambled to find answers, while students worried about losing their spots, scholarships, and even their dreams. The pause dragged on for 3 long weeks, weeks that were absolutely crucial for students hoping to arrive in the U.S. before the fall semester. Every day that passed increased the anxiety and uncertainty as deadlines for enrollment and travel approached. For universities, the stakes were incredibly high. International students contribute over $40 billion to the U.S. economy each year, supporting jobs and enriching campus life with diverse perspectives. Losing even a fraction of these students would have a ripple effect on finances, research, and the overall educational experience. When visa processing finally resumed in June, the real reason for the pause became clear. the US had introduced a sweeping new policy, mandatory social media screening for all student visa applicants. This was a major shift in how the US evaluates who gets to study within its borders. The 3-week pause wasn't just a delay, it was a necessary window for embassies to train officers and update their systems to handle this new, more intensive screening process. Staff had to learn how to review social media histories and integrate this information into their decision-making. Now your digital life, your posts, your photos, your online interactions, are as much a part of your visa application as your transcripts and test scores. What you share online can influence whether you're seen as a safe and suitable candidate for a US visa. This marks the beginning of a new era in how the US screens international students. The process is no longer just about academic merit or financial stability, it's about your online identity too. The stakes are higher than ever, and the process has become more complex and demanding. Students must now be more careful and strategic, not just in their applications, but in their digital footprints as well. Understanding why this happened and what it means can help you prepare for what's next. It's not just about paperwork anymore, it's about presenting your best self, both offline and online. The US is now looking for more than just grades and recommendations. They want to know who you are online, what you stand for, and how you interact with the world. So, as you prepare your application, remember to review your social media presence. Make sure it reflects the person you want the US to see. The rules have changed, and so must your approach. Navigating this new landscape requires awareness, preparation, and a clear understanding of what's at stake. So what's changed in the student visa process, and why is everyone suddenly talking about social media screening? The DS-160 visa form, which is required for most US student visas, now asks you to list every social media handle you've used in the past 5 years, no exceptions, no matter how old or inactive the account might be. Consular officers will carefully review your public posts, photos, likes, and comments across platforms like Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, and even lesser-known sites. They're looking for anything that might raise questions about your background, intentions, or eligibility. Don't worry, they won't ask for your passwords or try to access your private messages. But anything you've posted publicly, or even things you've liked or commented on, are fair game for review. If you leave out an account, even by accident, it can be seen as misrepresentation. That could lead to your visa being denied, or even future bans from applying. This review covers 5 years of your digital life, which means your old posts, photos, and even jokes or memes you shared as a teenager could be scrutinized. This raises big concerns about privacy and free speech for many students. Critics warn that this policy could pressure students to self-censor, delete old posts, or constantly worry about how their online activity might be interpreted by officials who don't know them personally. The government insists this is about national security, not about silencing opinions or targeting certain groups. However, the lack of clear guidelines on what's considered problematic leaves many applicants feeling anxious and uncertain. For every student hoping to study in the US, this is now the new reality, navigating not just academic requirements but also the digital footprint you've left behind. What are officers searching for in your social media? Their main goal: spot potential security threats, especially ties to terrorism or extremist groups. They also look for evidence of illegal activity, plans to violate visa terms, or inconsistencies with your application. For example, if you claim strong ties to your home country but post about never returning, that's a red flag. Posts about working illegally or hiding criminal activity can also hurt your chances. Officers aren't supposed to deny visas for lawful political speech or religious beliefs, but interpretation can be subjective. Even jokes or sarcasm can be misunderstood. Your online persona must match your application. Consistency is key. The stakes are high, so be mindful of what your digital footprint says about you. Not all students are affected equally. Those from countries with tense US relations or on watch lists face the most scrutiny. Politically active students, journalists, or those studying sensitive subjects may also be flagged for deeper review. Universities with large international populations, especially from China, India, and the Middle East, are worried about drops in enrollment. Cultural differences in humor or expression can be misread by US officers, leading to unfair outcomes. Students must work harder to ensure their online presence is clear and unambiguous. The burden is higher for some, but preparation can make a difference. Awareness is your best defense. These new rules have ripple effects far beyond consulates. International students are vital to U.S. campuses, bringing diversity, talent, and billions in economic impact. If the U.S. seems less welcoming, students may choose Canada, the UK, or Australia instead. Universities risk losing top talent and financial stability, especially in STEM fields. The policy also raises questions about free expression and privacy, potentially chilling open debate. The challenge balancing security with the values that make U.S. education attractive. The stakes are personal and national. The world is watching how America responds. So, how can you prepare? Start with a thorough audit of your public social media from the past 5 years. Remove or clarify anything that could be misinterpreted, sarcasm, political jokes, or controversial posts. Be honest and complete on your DS-160. Don't hide old accounts. Review your privacy settings, but remember public posts are still visible. Practice good digital hygiene. Think before you post, even in public groups. Seek advice from your university's international office or trusted organizations if you're unsure. Preparation is your best tool. Stay proactive, not panicked. You can do this. The new rules sparked immediate legal challenges from civil liberties groups. Critics argue the policy chills free speech and invades privacy, with lawsuits now moving through U.S. courts. The outcome is uncertain. Courts could block, uphold, or force changes to the policy. For now, the rules stand, but they could shift again. Stay informed by following updates from the Department of State and your university. The legal landscape is evolving, so be ready for changes. Knowledge is your best ally. Keep your eyes on the news and your application up to date. The U.S. student visa process is more complex than ever, but your dream is still possible. Preparation, honesty, and awareness are your keys to success. Audit your social media, double-check your application, and seek help if needed. Don't let fear or uncertainty derail your plans. American universities still want you. Your talent and perspective matter. This is just another challenge to overcome. Stay informed, stay proactive, and keep your eyes on your goal. The world needs your voice and your ideas. Your journey isn't over, it's just evolving. Be bold, be prepared, and go for it.